Hey everyone, this is an update video on double speed shulker box fillers. So these are machines that can sort items twice as fast as regular sorters and then output them into shulker boxes again at double hopper speed. Now I've shown a video on these last weekend and since then there's been a whole lot of development in the field. So for instance, Mango released a bit more compact and more reliable version, then Ground also made some improvements, and then based on these, I was able to come up with what is probably the most compact double speed sorter ever. So believe it or not, this actually does sort items twice as fast. Now, I won't go into too much details about the way this works. I really still can't believe that nobody has ever come up with this. I mean, it's literally the usual sorter, but put down one block. And the reason I don't want to go into too much detail about it is because Mango has already made a video. What I can go into a lot of detail about, however, is this over here. So this is literally what I've shown last weekend, except compactified by adding the better sorter. And also I fixed some unreliability issues. So you can see right here, there's an extended piston when I input items. And usually pistons and sorters spell disaster. So I have a small setup over here that can show why this happens. So essentially, in a sorter, it's possible that you get a short pulse, and then pistons drop their block and your sorter breaks. I didn't know this last weekend, but Mango showed it to me, and fortunately there is an easy fix. So as you can see right here, we have two comparators directly facing into each other. And it turns out that this fixes it because it changes the tile tick update priorities. So if I just place a comparator right here, as you can see, this one is going to trigger, but this one does not. And as a result, the piston doesn't get short pulsed. This is similar to why this right here happens. So this repeater right here is always on because it has a different tile tick priority than these two. Now, based on this, we can make a more compact and more reliable shulker box filler. And I even made a second one, which is even more compact. This one, however, doesn't have the same functionality. It's heavily based on MrBeast's double speed shulker filler, only with the better sorter to compactify it a bit. And unfortunately, the compactness comes at a price, so this can only do one item type. So over here, this is one white tileable, and this could be, say, redstone, then glowstone, then gunpowder, and then a bunch of different items in different columns. Unfortunately, this one would have to be redstone, then redstone, then redstone. They'd all have to be the same item type. And the reason for this is that when the shulker box down here gets broken, then it falls 3 blocks. And if, say, this is a redstone shulker box, it's possible that while it falls into the glowstone row. And then, obviously, this is not wanted. So, for instance, over here, I have a simple user case. So this would be all redstone. Typically, you'd probably use this in farms that only output one item type. So for instance, a spider farm or a creeper only farm, maybe a gold farm because you don't really care about rotten flesh. And then the stuff gets sorted over here, and perhaps we can see it in action down here. So, okay, this is almost full, so let's just fill it completely. Then, yeah, this hopper is going to fill up quite soon, and then when it does, the shulker box will get broken, right here. All right, now you might see that there's some items like this one that just make a loop-de-loop around. This is really not a problem for this specific case because, well, they'll get sorted eventually. And this actually can sort the 40 items per second that this outputs. So 5 times 8, 40. Now, however, the items missing the sorter actually becomes quite a big of an issue when you go for this sorter right here. So maybe I can test it with witch drops. So here I have all the witch drops plus rotten flesh. And what happens is that when the items get sorted, it's possible that they miss the hoppers because in particular, double speed sorters are quite unreliable when it comes to items missing them. The reason for that is quite simple. The hopper has to both suck the item and push it. And the fact that it also has to push it essentially means that it enters a cooldown more often. So because of that, we have to remove the ice and replace it with regular blocks. You could add the ice back, but in that case, as Mango showed in his previous video, you need a perfect item alignment. And perfect aligners are usually quite bulky. So I didn't do one for this video. We're still working on trying to compactify a perfect aligner, and you can be sure there's going to be a video once we make it. Now, in the meantime, I can perhaps show how this works. So let's maybe fill the shulker box completely just to show how it works. Okay, that was maybe a bit too fast. But you can see basically the piston goes up, breaks the box, and then goes back down. And then the boxes land down here. Alright, so this is going to be it for today. Thank you guys for watching, and have a nice day.